Hello, friends and beautiful people. It is Kathryn Massell, Elevated Consciousness Coach and 5D Visionary. It is Sunday Support. Welcome to this beautiful space. We're going to uplift your energy today. We're going to give you some beautiful uplifting energy and some validation, not only from my soul to yours, but to the universal soul and source through me as a vessel and to you as the receiver. This is going to be something that's really going to get you back into alignment with self. You know, we're in a time now that's very confusing because we've been told before you got to pick a side, right? Okay. And then we pick a side, and then we realize that side wasn't what we thought it was. Or to confound things and confuse things even more, we're getting these kind of not so subtly coded messages that there are no sides and everybody's on the same side and everybody has the same darkness or agenda. And so that only puts us at war with ourselves, doesn't it? On a transpersonal level, on an interpersonal level. We may feel like those not so subtly coded messages make us think that, okay, we can't trust where we've put our energy or attention or focus before. I want to give you a space here to let go of all that. Hi, Johanna. Hello, everyone who's joining. Let me see who else is here. Say hello. Let me know you're here. I'm so glad you're joining. Hi, Michelle. So we're going to talk about some things here that you're going to find this really helpful. This space is going to be really helpful, very restorative, and perhaps propel you into that point phase of reinvention that you've been kind of hedging yourself on. And maybe you feel like you're at a jumping off point of something new, but you're second guessing it because of who you've been before or because of things that you felt before. Hi, Meredith. Let me see if I am here in the group somewhere, which would be great if I could be. Oh, let's see. I'll start on a new page. There I am. And then after this talk, I'm going to take you on a little ride. We're going to go on a little ride. We're going to jump into the love stream. We're going to go on a little voyage on the love boat. The love boat. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Kathryn. Who else is here? I think I saw Michelle is here. Hello. Hello, friends. And if you can't stay for the whole thing, again, this will be in my YouTube channel after. The replay will be in my Global Acceleration of Ascension group. First off, just a reminder, we have our next 3-day live virtual summit, Global Acceleration of Ascension, coming up the weekend of February 5th through the 7th, 2021. We have, I think, over 36 different presenters on all things spiritual awakening and ascension. This is something that the newbies, those who are just getting their feet wet on their journey of spiritual awakening, we've got something for those folks. We've got something for people who are a little more seasoned, a little more well-heeled in their spiritual journey of awakening. So we really have got the spectrum of information, but the common denominator of this event is about coming together in the spirit of unity consciousness and raising the vibration of everyone in attendance in this summit. We will have over 2,000 people joining. I know that. I've heard that number. I've heard 22 many times come up as far as people in attendance or people watching overall this summit and this event. If you are a presenter, I'm going to need your topics by this coming Friday, the 15th, so that I can finalize our event calendar, and then you can send it out to all your social platforms, all your peeps, all your communities and really get the excitement going and brewing so we can create momentum behind this event before we begin on February 5th and have as many people in attendance as we possibly can. And you'll have the opportunity, if you're a presenter, obviously, to download your video that you're sharing, because everybody goes live for a half hour. So you'll each have your own video that you can download and then share to your community, to your YouTube channel, your social communities, platforms, etc. This is such an exciting event, and I can't wait. And again, like whenever I do this event, it seems very timely. We seem very ready and excited for this already. I know that I am. Hi, Mary. So there's that. The topic of today's talk for Sunday support is upgrading your frequency, or your frequency upgrade, and how it is like learning a new language. So let's let go, or I invite you to let go of seeing what's ahead of you, seeing where this frequency shift is inviting you to go. I invite you to stop looking at it or stop framing it as something that is hard, as something that is difficult. Because to the degree that you are enslaved to those thought forms that something is difficult or something is challenging or something is hard, it's going to be true for you every single time. If that is a thought that makes up your belief system, and you have other thoughts tethered to that, awakening is messy, awakening is hard. Yes, there is some degree of truth to that. But how much of a degree of truth is in that if we keep telling ourselves over and over again that that is the case, that awakening is hard, or moving to this next frequency of me, this next higher expression of me would be another way to say that, is hard. I invite you to rework your wording, your inner dialogue about what is ahead of you and this frequency upgrade it's happening. It's here. You're in it. It's not something that is coming, although there are more shifts coming that you can bet your bottom dollar on. But you can either decide to keep moving into higher elevations of being in a survival state because you're fearing what's next, with these shifts that are guaranteed to keep coming. We're really in a momentum, in a wave of these shifts now. Or you can allow yourself to feel creative about what's next. Because things aren't going to feel like they did before. Things aren't going to look like they did before. Things are not going to take the same shape as they did before because we have different structures that support them now. Okay? So you can either be enslaved to your own past thinking about the way things used to be, even though they really are clearly not that way anymore. And I know that there's a part of you that understands that things are just different now. You are different now. You know this. If you really check into the deepest core soul center of you, you already know, I'm not the same person. So if you can anchor into that truth, wouldn't the next question be, then why am I still acting like, or believing like, or thinking like I'm the same person I was before? It's like learning a new language. Because in reality, when you upgrade to a next frequency level of your consciousness, it is like having a different conversation with the universe. You on a cellular level, you on a subatomic level, are having a completely different conversation with all that is. And everything, all the sum parts that make up the whole of all that is. You are having a different conversation with all of it. Because you're having a different frequency level of you. You're having a higher expression of you come forth and be birthed into being. This means the things that defined your personal identity or your personal reality before no longer hold true for you. And the break with that can cause grief. It can cause pain. We do literally grieve for lost parts of self. when we make a frequency jump, when we elevate in consciousness. That just goes with the territory. But again, to the degree that you're telling yourself that it's painful to lose those parts of you, even if those parts of you kind of sucked, they were so habituated and conditioned to who you think you are, who you thought you were, that it can be painful to lose that, yeah? To shed that layer. But you can notice it and be with it and decide to move beyond it anyway. Because the second you do that, you open yourself up to the ladder shift that I was talking about, opening yourself up to being more creative and imaginative in this new expansion of frequency. Because that comes with the territory too. Just as much as you grieve for those shed layers of self, it's just as equally true that you are moving into a new level of creativity for reimagining and reinventing your life. Which one feels better? You get to choose that. That's the power of you, that you get to choose that. But in the beginning, it really is like learning a new language. Picking up, it's like the Rosetta Stone of the cosmos. You have to pick up, how to be conversational at this level of you with the all that is, okay? I find it interesting that there's so many language programs out there now. There's so many platforms for learning new languages. And I'm always looking at the bigger picture of things, always and ever. I'm always looking at, the greater story, the greater unfolding, the greater narrative that's at work. And I find it interesting that we're in a time where this is what I'm talking about today. We're learning this new language, and that there are all these different language platforms out there. Just think about that for a second. Think about the symmetries in everyday life where you're being given metaphors from the universe, perhaps even from your own subconscious, about, there's a bigger theme to look at here. There's a little more to unpack here than what you noticed at first blush, right? Because we notice things from the conscious analytical mind first, or, I should say we notice things from the subconscious first. If it's something that we're really meant to know and be a part of, it kind of bubbles up to the conscious mind. But your super conscious is always knowing this stuff too. So it's like we have to turn on that light all the time now. Notice the bigger picture, the bigger narrative at work. Because those parts of mind are not in conflict with each other. They all serve each other in their own ways. The subconscious, even the unconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. They're not separate. Nothing is separate, right? And there is overlap with everything. So start looking at the bigger picture of that. That's part of learning a new language. But it's like when you were a little kid. When you were a little kid and you were learning new words, you were learning to walk even. That childlike sense of wonder, that innocence that was inherent to who you were at that age, when you're a little kid and you're a toddler. And you had people around you that when you said a word, like you pointed at something and you said ball for the first time, and you had parents and grandparents, maybe aunts and uncles going, yay, that's a ball. Your spirit team has the same kind of energy around you. When you take this energetic shift, this frequency shift, and you go with it, and you have a sense of childlike innocence and wonder and glee, instead of thinking that this is difficult, yet another phase of my awakening. This is going to be messy. This is going to be ugly. I'm going to lose more people. I'm going to lose more of my identity. There's more to lose. If you keep looking behind you, you are definitely guaranteed every single time to see all of the things that you're losing. But if you keep your gaze firmly ahead, and you look at and have a childlike sense of wonder and excitement about what's next, and you tune in to, oh, this is that part of me that was telling me that I'm out of integrity with source, with spirit, with the all that is, which is only and ever love. This is what universe was trying to tell me this whole time. Ah, I get it. Oh, how wonderful. Now that puzzle piece has found that place to fit. Great. Now I can keep going. That kind of excitement has your spirit team, all of your guides, all of those who are here, well, here, not necessarily in body, but in spirit, in formless essence, applauding you from the sidelines. The universe itself is standing up and giving an ovation for when you're in those moments. And if it makes it more fun for you to think about it that way, that when you took your first steps as a baby and everyone around you, it might have been just your mom, it might have been, you know, a big family event. They're like, yay! Look at little Kathy go. Oh, yes, keep going, honey. Yes, pull on that armchair to get yourself up. Yes, do that. Yay! I know it sounds silly, but in those moments, when you feel yourself waffling over whether you want to be filled with doubt and be that same old person that you've been, in a lower vibration essence of you that has comprised most of your life up until now, you can do that. You have free will choice. You can be that person. Or you can choose to be in that childlike sense of wonder and glee. And that it's not just these imagined souls applauding you from the sidelines. It's you patting yourself on the back because you're deciding to be in joy and in an ecstatic moment of triumph where you feel like, okay, I've surmounted this thing that's maybe been a piece of me that I just couldn't find the essence of why this was stalking me my whole life. I finally found it, and there it is, and now it's got a place to go, and I can process this, and I can integrate this, and I can move into another expression of me, another higher evolution of me, and I can do it with a sense of momentum and excitement and childlike innocence behind me. Which one feels better, folks? Which one feels better? And you know what? It's all down to your choice. You have full power and control over your choice. You may not have a lot of power and control and a lot of things happening in the world. In your external environment, your prevailing environment may feel like a place of chaos and mayhem at the moment. It doesn't fucking matter. The only thing that matters is what you can control, what you have power over. Because if you are in control of your emotional mastery, if you have power over your choice to take the higher route, to keep moving you on that, that path of momentum towards a higher expression of you always and ever, then you start to ripple out to seeing your environment change around you. This is always the truth. It is always the truth. Okay? I'm sorry, I have music playing in the background and I do not own the rights to the music. But do you guys get what I'm saying here? Do you feel me on this? Remember, if you guys tuned in to my last talk, which was Understanding 4D, which is episode 5 of All Things Ascension, what I talked about is that we are feeling our way into the highest expression of ourselves, into 5D awareness and our consciousness level that already resides in 5D. We are feeling our way there. We're not intellectualizing our way there. We're not thinking our way there. I mean, we are in a way, but it's the feeling that ultimately counts. Your feelings and your emotions are always the key to either moving forward or constantly looking behind you. And it always comes down to this common denominator. It is your choice what you want to feel. I don't care what's happening outside of you. It is your choice what you want to feel. Any other lesson is a lesson in victimhood. It's a lesson in disempowerment and disenfranchisement from the self. That is never what I will teach. Ever, ever. Give me some hearts if this is making sense to you. Some of us have this never-ending story. Some of us have this never-ending story. And some of us think that we are our story. I'm going to say that again. Some of us have a never-ending story. And some of us believe that we are our story. And the story that we tell to ourselves has largely been one that we reside in lack. There's never enough, which always never means I'm never enough. I can never do anything right. Everything I touch turns to shit. All of my efforts result in failures. We feel like we're constantly revisiting patterns in our life. So for those of you who are feeling that, I have something very important to tell you. And I want you to listen to me very closely. Right now, in the upgraded frequency of you, part of you learning this new language and learning to speak this new language, meaning to speak new words of empowerment to yourself and redesign, reinvent the story of you. What is happening for you right now? You are revisiting these patterns, but from a completely different perspective, from a new perspective, from a different vantage point of self. You are standing at a higher level of you, a higher perspective where you are looking down on your circumstances, meaning when we evolve into a higher frequency expression of who we are, it is always and ever like observing from this objective observer standpoint, where we're separated enough from the subjective you, which is the ego you, to just look at things and see all the moving parts from a distant vantage point, seeing the bigger picture. This is what is happening in your life right now. If you are feeling like, this is me, I'm going through a frequency shift, then this is what is happening. This is part and parcel of that. It always and ever will be. It feels like the objective observer vantage point of you has the best view of you it's ever had. How does that feel? How does that feel? I have more to say on this, but how does that feel? Does that just make you feel like, oh, finally, right? You have the best view of yourself now than you've ever had. So you may be revisiting a pattern of you, something that feels cyclical in your life, a recurring theme, a recurring challenge of you. But you are now looking at this with fresh eyes and a higher vantage point of perspective where you literally pull back and see the scene and see all the moving parts. You know, the way I think of it is, I don't know if I'm really calling out my age here, but I remember like watching cowboy and Indian movies like that were in the 70s. There were a whole string of them, and they were filmed in Panavision, which was a type of film where you had like long, stretched out, especially when they did panoramic scenes, everything was long and stretched out, like the mountains and the trees seem bigger, and the human figures and animal figures seem bigger. When you're in your vantage point of self, it's like pulling back like that and seeing like, okay, if it's a cowboy and Indian movie, you're seeing all the cowboys and Indians on the field, and you see the mountains and the trees and the shrubbery and the horses, and you see all of it, and you see all the moving parts. This is what it's like now to be in this higher vantage point of view. So you're looking down, presiding over circumstances from a much higher vantage point. And I want you to hold this idea when you are revisiting a pattern that has been a recurring theme, and you're like, this old chestnut? Okay, here we go again. And I want you to say something to yourself. But I'm different now. But I'm a different person now. Go ahead and say it to yourself right now. It's different now because I'm different now. I can let go of where I'm traumatized by this recurring theme in my past. And traumatized by where I've even said before, I'm different now and this is going to work out different now. Because we've been traumatized by saying that to ourselves and not having it work out differently, haven't we? Be honest. Be honest. I will go ahead and raise my hand and say, I have been that person, and up until very recently, I was that person in a surprising way, because I thought something I had worked through was done. And aren't we traumatized by going through these patterns that we've revisited many times in our life and saying in those moments, but I'm different now. I'm going to do this differently now. And then we're traumatized now because it didn't work out different. Give yourself permission right now. As my new friend and mentor, Joanna Hunter, likes to say, give yourself permission to allow that to go. You're no longer traumatized by that. Just say it to yourself, because this is part of learning this new language of you, is understanding inherently. It's different now because I'm different now. Just say it. Write it everywhere. Put it on your refrigerator. Put it on your bathroom mirror. It's different now because I'm different now. Because if you don't believe this at the core of who you are, good luck with anything else, because this has to be at the foundation. And it's a simple shift. That's the thing. It's a simple shift, but you have to give yourself permission to make that shift and understand that everything that you think and believe on top of that can only be as strong as the foundation of that. It's different now because I'm different now. How does that feel? You're ready to break a cycle and access more wisdom. In other words, you are ready to know yourself better. And I'm going to say another nugget here that I really want you to listen to. The universe loves you so much. And I cried when this came in last night because I was working on something and clearing something out. And I had had a day where a couple people had contacted me and just said, thank you. Thank you for the things that you've shown me, and thank you for the things that you have brought into my awareness that I can allow myself to do now. Things that you said, or the way you said them, they hit me in a way. And I had like 4 people reach out to me yesterday to do that. And a couple of you are here, actually. So thank you. Because I really sat with that energy yesterday and I cried. And some of you who did reach out to me, I told you that I was crying when you shared with me your revelations and your thanks. And then it triggered something in me to open something up that was like the last level of something that had to go. It was like the last nugget of doubt. And even though it was like a little nugget, it was big enough to cause me discomfort for a long time. And I finally just blew that out. I blew that out, sent it back to the universe, and I'm like, I'm done with that. I'm done with going, 17 rounds with Muhammad doubt. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And so I made that pledge to myself to clear it, see what else was there, and finally be done. And it felt so freaking good to let that go. Because here's what happens. This is what I want you to really listen to, folks. The universe loves you so much. This is how much the universe loves you. The universe loves you so much that it will put front and center, anywhere in your life where you are not in alignment with the highest expression of you, where you are not in alignment with Source, when you're not in alignment with the all that is. The universe loves you so much that even though you don't get it the first time that you're exposed to this pattern, this cycle, this recurring theme, this challenge, issue, whatever it is, the universe loves you so much that it'll keep putting this thing front and center until you get it. And the universe has no concept of time. And the universe will never give up on you. And it'll keep showing you, putting front and center in your life, every single time, every single place, and every situation where you are out of integrity with the highest expression of you, as Source, as love. That's how much the universe loves you. And when you get it, it's that team on the sidelines, your cheerleaders going, yay! Yes, awesome, yes. Now she's ready for this. Let's show her a bunch of stuff now. She's ready. That's how exciting it is. You should feel that excitement too, or I invite you. I hate should. Yeah, I invite you to feel that excitement too. Of when you took those first steps as a baby and you had, your family and your friends cheering you on from the sidelines. When you spoke ball or mama or dada the first time. And that excitement, because it's the same feeling. It's the same thing. It's the same excitement. It's the same momentum. Because you don't just stop saying ball or mama or dada. You don't stop taking steps forward. You keep going, don't you? Because you have all that excitement and support behind you. Folks, that is exactly what you have now. And you can either choose to see it or not. Which one feels better? Every little step forward is a step forward nonetheless. Don't get caught up in how big it has to be or what it has to look like because so-and-so did it this way and look where she is or look where he is. Fuck that shit, pardon my French. It is about you. It is about you being in the place where you are most excited about where you are. Everything else is incidental. Everything else is external. And if you're looking externally to validate who you are internally, then you are revisiting a pattern where you're not moving out of it and having that revelation where you can finally shelve it and say, thanks for that lesson, I'm done. It is about your internal journey. It is about the inner growth, always and ever. The external growth comes later. The external growth is incidental. And you see your little steps. Exactly, Mary. Exactly, Lorianne. I'm glad you needed to hear this. Got another nugget for you. I really want you to listen to this one. I really want you to listen to this one. Your challenges are always opportunities to know yourself better and love yourself more. Your challenges are always opportunities to know yourself better and love yourself more. That's what they are. I don't care if you're making excuses about, yeah, but this challenge has done this to me my whole life, and okay, even better. This keeps happening. This person keeps showing up. This situation keeps unveiling itself to me over and over. This cycle, this pattern, blah, 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 blah. Your challenges are always opportunities to know yourself better and love yourself more. And I want to take you guys on a journey with that. Because there isn't one person watching this who doesn't need to jump back into the love stream right now. I called it the love boat. I think it's just because I wanted to sing the song. The love boat. Who remembers? I will be your yeoman purser. Was that Lauren Tewes? How great is that I remember that? These are the things that my brain holds in place. Lauren Tewes was, I can't remember if she was the yeoman purser on the boat. But my brain, for some reason, needs to hang on to that kind of information. I don't know why. Either way, I will be your tour guide. And I'm going to help you to jump back into the love stream. Okay? Because we all need this right now. And as we are upgrading in our frequency and we're learning a new language, we're learning a new way of being, we're learning a new way or a new style of conversing with the universe, the all that is, and all of its implicate and explicate orders of that universe. We're going to jump back into this stream. So I have music playing in the background. All you have to do is just listen to my voice. That's all you have to do. And trust that you'll know exactly when to jump back in to the love stream and what exactly you need to let go in this space. Because in order to really know ourselves, so that we can love ourselves more, because those things go hand in hand, they're tandem, it's a package deal. When you know yourself more, you love yourself more. You'll know exactly what to let go of here in this space. Something that's coming in is like, okay, this is the last ditch effort of this. This is the last layer that's ready to go. And trust me when I say this, you wouldn't have tuned into this if you weren't ready to let it go. Just trust that. Just surrender and allow that. That whatever comes up in this space, it's that part of you that is really saying, we're done. And I forgive myself and I love myself for seeing this message. You don't have to beat yourself up for how many times you've had to relive this cycle, because that's not loving yourself. And you don't have to blame or be in resentment for how long you've held on to this. Time means nothing. Time is an illusion. All that is right now. This is all that matters. And if you don't understand that, you're one of those people that are constantly looking behind you at all those people, those things, those situations that you're losing, instead of being in the now and understanding that you are taking steps forward. I don't care how big they are. You are taking steps forward and you're creating momentum. And the only way to do that is to let things go. When you let those things go, you can see where it's kept you from forward momentum. And then you know yourself better. And then you can love yourself more. You only open up the container of love more. So does that sound good? Are you guys ready to do that? If you have water, that would be great. Just go ahead and relax yourself into your space. Take a deep breath in and out. Just let anything go. Anything that your ego personality is telling you, yeah, you don't really have time to do this now, you got to do this, or call that person, or pay that bill. Tell your ego, we're going to do this right now. I understand all the things that have to take place today and what I've promised to do. I will honor those commitments, but right now I have to honor this commitment to the entirety of me, not just the ego of me. And just make peace with this space doing that, okay? This is your time for you, and you can't show up for anyone or anything else if you don't allow yourself to be who you truly are at the highest expression of you. There's no way you can fulfill the obligations or the commitments in your life if you're not committing to yourself first. Yeah. So take a deep breath and just accept and know that, and then exhale. Just let everything go. Go ahead and close your eyes and just listen to the sound of my voice. Don't worry about anything. I will guide you through. You'll be highly supported in this space. You are loved and seen and known in this space. You are guided. You are loved. You are blessed. Go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just feel your shoulders relax, your jaw relax as you cleanse and purify with the breath. Take another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel another wave of relaxation coming down and through the body. Now just breathe normally. If you Still feel the need to take some cleansing breaths here. Go ahead and take bigger breaths until anything that feels heavy or tight just moves out. Just let it go. Give yourself permission to just let yourself go and just flow into the energy of the space. You already feel the higher energy of the space presiding over this little capsule of time that we find ourselves in. We're blessed to come together and experience a greater expression of love together. Just allow that infinite part of you, that eternal soul part of you, lead the way and allow you to just flow with the energy in this space. And calling in God Self, 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 God Self. And just feel that subtle shift. You're in that higher vantage point. You are always and ever that higher vantage point of you, where you have that objective perspective on your life. It's a choice to make that shift, and it's a subtle one, but a choice to make that shift nonetheless. Just choose right now to shift into that highest vantage point of you, where you can see all the moving parts of your life. I want you to imagine a cleansing ball of crystal and diamond light just above the top of your head. And as you inhale, imagine pulling this cascade of light down over the top of the head, over the body and through the body. And taking this beautiful cleansing shower of white crystal and diamond light all the way through your body, through the extremities of your physicality, all the way down and out, through the soles of the feet, right out through the tips of your toes. And as this light cascades down, it's pulling anything in your energy field that is heavy, tight, dense, pulling it down through all the layers of the earth and cleansing it, transmuting it in the loving energies of Terra. Taking this all the way down to the crystalline core and letting those energies reside there, transmute there, change and shift and transform there. And now as you take a deep breath in from above and below simultaneously, imagine on the inhale pulling from both directions simultaneously and exhaling out from the heart. Imagine expanding your energy out. And do this again, breathing from above and below, using the pranic breath to bring in another layer of cleansing and purifying, and breathing out, expanding your energy further out past the country, the planet, out into time and space. And another deep breath in from above and below, breathing out further and faster, expanding your energy out as big and as bold as you want to be in this space. Whatever you find here is perfect and right for you as far as your expansion. And now just feel yourself drifting, supported in this kind of bubble of heart energy. You're protected by the 12D crystalline diamond light that has cleansed and purified you. Allow this to make you feel buoyant, floating and protected, seeing nebula, star systems, galaxies. You're just floating. There's like a buoyancy where you're held aloft, like this unseen but very loving, supportive energy is helping you navigate towards a stream And it looks like a stream of perhaps rainbow light or magenta and purple mixed with sheer crystalline light. But it's a detectable stream. And as you're being buoyantly held aloft, this beautiful, unseen, but loving and supportive energy is guiding you, navigating you towards this stream. But before you can fully enter this stream, you're being invited in this higher vantage point of view to know right now, in your eternal now awareness, part of you that you are ready to fully see, to fully know, to fully accept and forgive and thus love. This part of you has been showing you a particular challenge, an issue, a cycle, a pattern that you've revisited maybe many, many times. There are different players who come into your life as part of the human family who are contracted to you to help you know this challenge, this cycle, this pattern, etc. They are not to blame. They are your contracted, soul-aligned helpers. They have only and ever been assistants to you, helping you see this challenge, helping you know this issue. The situations in which this issue or challenge occurred is also not to blame. It was simply the vehicle of conveyance to help you arrive at this challenge, this cycle, this pattern. The universe in its infinite and eternal love and devotion to you as a soul being has been trying to show you how important you are, how much you matter in the greatness of all that is. Your part is an integral part of the healing and wholeness of all. And only through the healing and wholeness of you do you send a ripple out to the implicate order of healing and wholeness. Through your individuated expression, you send that signal out, that ripple out. You are needed. Your healing and your wholeness is needed. The universe can't be the universe without you. The cosmic order does not have order unless you have order. See all those moving parts of you, the things that may have even seemed random before, are somehow coming together to build a larger narrative now, to show you a bigger theme. And this challenge is now an opportunity for you to know yourself better. To stand on this vantage point, on the edge of a cliff, looking down at your circumstances and saying, I am no longer that. It's different now because I am different. And I'm so grateful that the universe loves me so much that it has shown me time and again in its infinite patience and love of me where I am out of integrity with the highest expression of my being. what is that? What is that piece that is asking for final processing and integration that allows you to move into a different level of momentum? A seamless drive forward without resistance, without hiccups, at least not from this particular cycle or issue. There may be other challenges or issues. It is simply another theme presenting itself to show you how much the universe loves you, how much you are needed, and how important it is for you to really know yourself so that you can love yourself more. Feel yourself right now getting closer to this stream. You maybe even feel the energy of this stream. It has a palpable kind of electric, sparkly energy about it, yet very loving and comforting at the same time. Will you let this go? It's not a question of can you let this go? Will you let this go? Will you take the lesson? It is not a mistake. It has been a learning opportunity. It was not a failure. It was a learning opportunity. It was not a misstep. It was a learning opportunity to know yourself more and love yourself more. Take a deep breath in and take that in. And now feel yourself gently being invited in. There's almost like gentle, loving tethers have a very kind of feathery feeling. Maybe there's just kind of tickling the bottoms of your legs or your feet, and it's a very inviting energy, and it's pulling you into this stream. Just feel the alchemization of your body meeting the energy of this stream. It may feel like dipping into a warm, sudsy bath. It may feel like all of your cells are dissolving and then reappearing in an endless cycle, over and over again. That you are blending into this stream. You're gently moving your body into this entire stream. Maybe it's now you're in up to your hips. Just feel how gentle and loving and beautiful this transition is of moving back into the love stream. The more I know myself, the more I love myself. The more I allow myself to be in the higher vantage point of me, seeing the entire story of me, what has come to pass, what is unfolding now, and what has not yet come to pass. All of that is stored consciousness within you. Ask to awaken to the essence of this as you fully insert yourself now back into the love stream, because that is all that you are. You come from love, and you will return to love. And you can make the choice at any time, anywhere, to return to the love stream. Be aware fully how this essence feels to you. Ask to fully record the essence of this so that you have full conscious recall of it in your everyday waking life when you choose to recall it fully. Ask to record this so that you can fully recall it when you are going to bed at night and entering into dream time. So that all of your dreams come from the greatest lessons from the universe to reunite you with love. Because that is who you truly are. This is all you've ever been. Everything else is illusion and shade, contrast, to help you grow, to help you know yourself more, to help you remember your way back to this very place, this very essence. Your whole journey is to remember your way back to this essence. Just allow yourself to keep floating on this stream. As you float through this stream, you may notice in your periphery seeing scenes float by that are maybe old parts of your story, old snapshots of you occupying a lower vibration, having a different story. As you float by and see these parts, know which parts do not fit anymore into the story of yourself that you are reinventing. What lessons will you take with you? And what ways of being will you let go of? Just feel yourself floating in this space. Just allow yourself to feel good. You are seen and known and loved and blessed in this space. And just know that you can recall this energy anytime you wish. I want you to notice as you're floating along, held aloft, buoyantly in this stream, where you have just a natural place of exit, and you allow yourself to move back out of this stream. You hear your physical heart space calling you back home, although this is never not home. You can ask to, as you pull this energy back, ask to collapse this space into the heart, into your physical heart. And as you inhale deeply, just imagine yourself doing that. And as you pull this back in, feel that heart space naturally expand into your physical body. I want you to take another deep breath in and imagine collapsing that sphere of light, that cascade of 12D diamond light from above, collapsing it all the way through the body. Breathing it out through the soles of the feet and sending it all the way down to the core of the earth. Fully collapsing the energy of this transmission in this space. And saying, I am grounded, I am grounded, I am grounded. And when this energetic transmission feels complete, go ahead and take a deep breath and open your eyes. You may still feel a little floaty here, so if you have water, drink some water. You may want to just gently stretch your arms and expand physically into your space so that you feel yourself grounded back in your body, feel your feet on the floor. Just go ahead and maybe touch your body. Touch your heart. Breathe in deeply. Just feel yourself fully come back. Just call all parts and expressions of you that we're exploring there to fully come back into your now dominant timeline. And I'd love for you to share how this felt for you. Couple closing thoughts. When you are learning your new language of the upgraded frequency that you are already occupying, your highest guide members of your team are asking you to remain flexible. meaning. Remain teachable. Stay supple in your thinking. We are hardwired to become so fixed in our constructs of thought, in our belief systems. That is not the energy that allows you to speak, know, feel, express the language of your new frequency that you're occupying. When you stay supple in your thinking and your beliefs, it practically ensures that you gain momentum and keep knowing, accessing, embodying higher frequencies of you. Okay? The never-ending story of who you think you are. It is different now because you are different now. Let go of where you've been traumatized by saying that to yourself in the past and it hasn't worked out, because that is a trauma response where you stop saying that to yourself and you stop believing that things can be different. Let go of that trauma response. That was the old you. The stream felt very peaceful, happy, and soothing. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. The love stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to close this out for now, unless anyone has any questions that they'd like to share or ask, or any revelations that you would like to impart about this experience. I can't see all the questions or comments. I know I'm going to revisit that. That came to me last night after I was moving out a final layer of doubt. And it felt really, really good to be done with that. And then it literally felt like I was being levitated up out of my body and into deep, deep space, and then being sent into this stream. And what my guides were showing me and then telling me was that this is what that soul part of you that was holding on to self-negation or self-denial through a challenging cyclical pattern or whatever for so long, when you finally release it, this is what happens to that soul fragment. It's literally buoyed up and sent into this love stream. Because when we are integrated, what we're integrating with is love. Because that's where we come from, and that's what we return to. So, given that the universe is a holograph, we live in a fractal holographic universe. If that soul fragment of you is returning to love, then it's the entirety of you returning to love. And so every time you heal something, I don't care how pervasive or long-term or chronic this challenge has been, every time you decide to heal that, it's you returning, being buoyed up, held aloft, and returning to love. And you're doing that not just for you, you're doing that for the entire holographic record of the universe. You're healing on behalf of the whole. Bonus. Thank you so much, guys. Again, I thank you for your participation and your beautiful energy contributing to this space, because you really made this a really grand and lovely container, and I couldn't have done that without you. So much love and peace. Bye-bye.